I don't know who you are, and I don't know where you spawned. But what I do know is that I will look for you, and when I find you, and I will find you, I will citadel you. Hey, what's up ladies and gentlemen, wargamers and YouTubers? First thing first, Happy Chinese New Year to all, 新年快乐! Now let's get back to the action. My name is Boom Shaka Boxer, and I want to kick off a series of videos in conjunction with Intangibles, which will be intuitively labeled Kraken Unleashed. That was pretty intuitive, I hope. All content in this series will demonstrate me releasing the Kraken in various ships and classes, but the impression I want to leave to you is not in my power to shoot and sink ships, but rather how well I understand my realistic role in the given MM, the matchup. If you believe, you can achieve. I ended the first episode of Intangibles by saying it's not your FPS but RTS skills that will make the difference in the battle. I mean that. You see, I have a personal bias with World of Warships, and that bias is that this is fundamentally a RTS game with FPS elements. At a certain threshold of competency, if you play this game often enough, your shooting ability is more or less in line with everyone around you. In my opinion, the biggest skill differential you can achieve in World of Warships is derived from your decision-making ability, just like in any RTS. So without further ado, let's jump into this week's episode of Kraken Unleashed, starring what's fashionable right now, the ARP Kongo. So right off the bat, I want to introduce the concept of matchups. This will be a recurring theme throughout all these videos that I produce. In a random battle, we have a possibility of 12 matchups. The matchup is simply the quality of engagement you have with each individual enemy on the opposing team. The two objective factors in reading a matchup are the tier differentials and the warship class. Favorable and equal matchups are the things we want to look out for. A favorable matchup is one where the odds are stacked in your favor, and an equal matchup is one where the objective metrics are more or less equivalent. The following is my cheat sheet for early game matchups. These matchups are historically the most highly observed opening engagements you can expect, and the reason why two of these matchups have an asterisk is because these are the two favorable early game matchups you can get into. So as soon as I fired and missed my opening salvo against the enemy Miyogi, I recognized and overextended Furutaka, the cruiser class that I want to engage. Well within 10 kilometers, with islands behind him, sealing his retreat, and on the wrong side of a favorable matchup, all I got to do now is line up my AP salvo and execute. Matane, first blood, always a boost to morale. As I continue to press westerly, I notice three potential matchups. The first, an equal matchup against the New York. The second, an unfavorable matchup against the Minikaze. And the third, another favorable matchup against the cruiser, the Königsberg. So therefore, I'm going to nose north, point west, and do everything I can to minimize my bad matchups and improve my ability to secure the good matchup.
Concentrate fire on the designated target.
Under 10 kilometers and with virtually no hit points left, as soon as I clear this island, the Königsberg is as good as sunk. Another cruiser kill for my ARP Kongo, off Wiedersehen. So, in treating this game like a real-time strategy, the logic behind trying to get into as many favorable early matchups as you can is simple. You want to maximize your probability for early devastating strikes and turn the game into a numbers game. The more numbers you have, the more angles you have, and the more angles you have, the more marginalized the enemy maneuverability and armor becomes. As the duration of the matchup increases, the compound effects of the enemy losing ships early pays dividends, as your team is more capable of enforcing their will, focus firing, and dictating engagements.
Enemy battleship destroyed.
敵艦隊が優勢。勝負はここから。
Our team has taken the lead.
Noticing that the enemy Minakase just got done in, I'm going to have an extended window of opportunity to push through middle, seal my distance, and select targets, all while fully understanding at this juncture in time, there's no enemy that can hard punish me for my decision making. This is a low risk, high reward situation created by my team and I, capitalizing on earlier enemy mistakes. Of all the enemy ships remaining, of course it's the enemy cruiser Koiberg that's still pushing into enemy territory. We're slowly sealing the distance with each other, and unfortunately for him, his tunnel vision against my ally Königsberg and failure to recognize his peripheral threats will cost him dearly. Don't reach, young blood. Devastating strike.
敵艦クラインフィールド消失。強制波動走行を貫通した。
So, let's just do a quick recap. Of the 4 ships I sank, 3 of them were favorable battleship versus cruiser matchups, and the last one was an equal battleship versus battleship matchup with focus fire help from my teammates. And there we have it, Kraken Unleashed.
We've destroyed an enemy battleship.
My mama always said, life is like a box of chocolates. Your decision making helps you choose the good ones. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Kraken Unleashed starring the ARP Kongo. Until next time, this is Boom Shaka Boxer signing out.